Even though both of us were going, we weren't living it. And our problems were still our problems. And we were living completely separate lives. We were pushing further and further away from each other. The enemy was right there to keep us apart. Hi, I'm Kalista Caesar, and I'm part of the worship team here in Marshalltown, and I've been from around this area for most of my life. They say the first year of marriage is the hardest, but I never believed it was true until it happened to us. James and I grew up a little differently. He went to church as a kid, but at a certain point was given the option to stay home or to go. He always believed in God. I grew up going to church as a kid, and I knew Jesus at a young age, and I continued to for years. My family and I went to church multiple times a week. I was very involved in youth groups. I was a counselor at camps as well as being a part of camp. I was part of worship teams as well as doing child evangelism fellowship, going around Iowa teaching kids about Jesus, and I loved it. But somewhere along the way, I was completely lost. I went down a rough path and I questioned everything. I lost my connection with Jesus, but at the time, what I didn't know is that Jesus had never lost his connection with me. Then a little down the road, James and I met and we dated for 4 years. And we decided to get married, which was pretty awesome. And throughout our whole relationship, I had tried to get James to go to church. And every time I tried, it was refused right away. And I struggled with this so hard because I felt like something was missing. I'd even talk about future kids with him and how they would feel with him not going, but nothing in him would budge. Then a few months into our marriage, my boss and also my friend Leona had filled the ballroom with a church. And she came to work talking about it. She was super excited and pumped up and just told me that I needed to go see what it was about for myself. And I was just like, okay, it's been a while for me and I really lost that connection a long time ago, but maybe it's time that I check it out again. So I did, and I went, and wow, it was phenomenal. And the presence of God, I knew without a doubt, was here and filled this church. So I came back for a few weeks. And in one of those weeks, Dylan had talked to me about James and wondered why he wasn't with me. And so we talked about it a little bit, and he told me that he'd keep James on their prayer list and that God would bring him to Restore. So for the first time, I went home and I talked to James about Restore and just how different it was and how the first time being there, I felt at home. And I'd never felt that in any church I'd been a part of. So to my surprise, he told me, yes, that he would absolutely be there and check it out. And I'm like, okay, cool, this is different, but I'll take it. And especially after he went, I was really excited because he enjoyed himself. But even after both of us were going, we weren't living it. And our past problems were still our problems. And our relationship was completely derailed from the path that I was expecting it to head towards. We were living separate lives. We were pushing further and further away from each other, and the enemy was right there to make sure he kept us apart. I had even had my family and friends encouraging me towards divorce. And I had decided to move out. But amazingly, through all of this, James never gave up. And we continued to go to separate church services, and we had the most amazing support and prayers here from people that we didn't know too well. And it was absolutely amazing. And it was through learning about God's love in a way that we'd never been taught that brought us back together. And through his mercy, grace, and love, seeing it through God's eyes completely changed it. And I can't always wrap my mind around it, but I'm beginning to see how awesome and amazing our God truly is. So thank you, Restore, so much for playing a part in saving our marriage.